Hey friends, it's Pastor Liz here, coming to you from my very own clubhouse. Okay, it's not really a clubhouse. It's actually my apartment. See? There it is. But sometimes it feels like a clubhouse, and I live here all by myself. And sometimes when I'm here by myself, it makes me feel just a tiny bit afraid. Have you ever been afraid or nervous about something? Maybe you're even feeling a little bit nervous right now. We're not at school, we don't get to see our friends every day, and we're even being extra careful to wash our hands and make sure we get rid of all of the germs. Guess what? It's okay to feel a little bit scared or a little bit afraid, and sometimes I feel that way too. So today, I thought maybe I'd open up one of the Bibles that I brought home with me and see if there's a story there that tells us about what to do or who to trust when we're afraid. Anybody have an idea already of who that person might be? Let's see if you're right. Today's story is going to be read from the Jesus Storybook Bible. Parents, this is a beautiful book. If you don't have a copy, it would be worth looking up. And we are going to read a story that comes out of Mark 4 and Matthew 8 in the Bible. And it's called, in this Bible, The Captain of the Storm. I'll show you the picture first. The sun was going down, and the air was warm and still. "Let's go across the lake," Jesus said to his friends. Jesus had been helping people all day, and now he was tired, so they left the crowds at the shore and they set out in a small fishing boat. And Jesus climbed into the boat to take a nap. As soon as his head touched the pillow, he fell fast asleep. It was a beautiful evening. A gentle breeze rustled the sails. The friends were chatting happily as they headed out into the middle of the lake. Everything was perfect, just right for a nice, quiet sail. They were only about halfway across when, out of nowhere, whirling wind swept across the lake, fierce and strong like a hurricane. A blinding flash of lightning lit up the sky and thunder roared right overhead. The storm blew the water into towering waves that hurled the little boat up, 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 and then sent it hurtling, crashing back down, down, down. The fishing boat was blown and buffered and tossed and turned back and forth and up and down and left and right and round and round. And in the middle of the storm, Jesus was sleeping. Now, Jesus' friends had been fishermen all their lives, but in all their years fishing on this lake, they had never once seen a storm like this one. No matter how hard they struggled with their ropes and sails, they couldn't control their boat. This storm was too big for them. But the storm wasn't too big for Jesus. "Help!" they screamed. "Wake up, quick, Jesus!" Jesus opened his eyes. "Rescue us, save us!" they shrieked. "Don't you care?" Of course Jesus cared, and this was the very reason he had come, to rescue them and to save them. Jesus stood up and he spoke to the storm. "Hush," he said. That's all. And the strangest thing happened. The wind and the waves recognized Jesus' voice. They had heard it before, of course. It was the same voice that made them in the very beginning. They listened to Jesus and they did what he said, and immediately the wind stopped. The water calmed down. It glittered innocently in the moonlight and lapped quietly against the side of the boat as if nothing had happened. The little boat bobbed gently up and down, and there was a deep stillness and a great quiet all around. Then Jesus turned to his wind-torn friends. "Why were you scared?" he said. "Did you forget who I am? Did you believe your fears instead of me?" Jesus' friends were quiet as the wind and the waves. And into their hearts came a different kind of storm. "What kind of man is this?" they asked themselves anxiously. "Even the winds and the waves obey him," they said, because they didn't understand. They didn't realize yet that Jesus was the Son of God. Jesus' friends had been so afraid that they had only seen the big waves. and they had forgotten that if Jesus was with them, they had nothing to be afraid of, no matter how small their boat or how big their storm. Even Jesus' friends were afraid when Jesus was right there in the boat. And Jesus wasn't mad or angry at them, but instead he calmed the waves and he reminded them that they were safe and that he loved them. Did you know that we're safe and that Jesus loves us? No matter what's happening in the world around us, or even if I'm all alone in my clubhouse, we can trust that Jesus is with us and that he loves us very much. Guess what? I love you too, and I'm thinking about you and praying for you, and I can't wait until we're back together again. Have a very happy day.